Chapter 864, The Vinsmoke Family Slaughter Plot.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Pod-D-Cast, or should I say the Pony-Cast, because there's a pony on the first page.
Yeah, the beautiful pirates.
I'm the best guy ever, and this is Hippocrit.
Hey guys. Oh, I just noticed on that beautiful pony ship, it says popularity on the side.
That was gonna be my first thing. I love how it just says like they've got their fucking stamp of what their fucking motto is right on the side. Popularity. That's what they're all about. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're talking about chapter 864, the Vinsmoke Family Slaughter Plot. Very, very descriptive title. Okay,
or
now let's go in.
Otherwise known as the Consummate Vinsmoke Family Slaughter Plot.
Well, okay, but I'm gonna have to look up what that word means. I'm not following what you're saying right now. So we're talking about this first page here. Oh my God, thank you, Oda. He started a new what's the word, like title
page
arc, like a new story using the first page. Oh, and this one's gonna be about the Straw Hat Grand Fleet and what they're all up to.
They got the little They got the little Straw Hat flag there. It's pretty cute. It's pretty nice to see it flown by a buddy.
You know, let me ask you something. I don't really remember the end of Dressrosa very well, like in terms of how everybody felt at the end. Like, I know Cavendish like swore loyalty to Luffy, but like, is it just me, or is that odd that like such a prideful character would be so willing to like swear under somebody else so easily? Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah, I mean, I can't exactly remember the moment where he's like, oh, you know what, you're cool. It might have been during the tournament earlier on, or like when shit started to go down, and Luffy was like, "I'm gonna save you," or I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I honestly can't remember.
Oh, you know what?
It probably
something. It was probably just him not wanting to look like he's not as strong or as good as Luffy. Like Luffy started winning, and sort of a friendly rivalry. Like he's not. Like it's probably based off a friendly rivalry, and then Luffy, the Straw Hat, saved the day, and he's like a bit more respect. So he's never like an antagonist towards him, I don't think.
You know, I should have looked this up. I mean, Cavendish wanted to murder him only because he was more popular. And I know there was something, but I just can't remember what it was. Somebody, please, for the love of God, like type in the comments. I will check this because I really can't remember what the fuck happened to make him not want to kill Luffy anymore. I know it was something. Anyway, I'm just saying that it feels weird to see him flying the Straw Hat flag, but maybe this description, this event that I totally forget will make it all, feel appropriate. Anyway, I love their boat, and it's the coolest thing ever.
Yes, very nice.
It's beautiful. It's very, very handsome. Very handsome
very
indeed.
Popular.
And I love very popular, and I love their flag of like a horse face with Cavendish's hat, and it's very cool, very very choice.
Very cool.
It is very cool. Okay, let's get to the rest of the chapter.
Yes, so we start off. Brooke is like a little smashing of the painting the photograph again. Everything's going down, and this is Big Mom's reaction. She's sort of at first she's still sort of, she's able to say words. Oh no! Before that, I really love the joke where Brooke tears off the Luffy balloon, and people are like, "Oh my God, he tore his fucking face off! What a freak!"
That was pretty good. They tricked me again, and Big Mom is really pissed off about this. I don't know, but she seems like pretty okay. Like compared to what we were led to believe, smashing this picture would do, she does not seem that freaked out, like she's just kind of like, oh no, I'm disturbed.
At first it's sort of like, oh no, shit's about to go down, but then other things sort of add to it, and then one of the characters, I forget who, says something like, there's too many things for her to be angry about, she can't decide, and that's why she's not like fully gone, and that's why she's not like fully like vulnerable to the bazooka and all that.
That's true and all. That just seems like a weird thing for me as a human being to process. Like, I don't understand.
Think about it from a woman's perspective. I mean, she was quadruple triggered. If you think about it like that, there's only so much triggering you can do before you just white out. You just don't know what's going on.
So I mean, but it's like, so so if she normally just saw this picture break, right, she would like go into a catatonic state and would be vulnerable. But it's because like so many things have happened at once, like the cake being destroyed by Luffy and him popping out all of a sudden. It's because so many terrible things have happened to her at once that it's kind of like Mr. Burns in that episode of The Simpsons, where like he's got so many diseases that none of them can like actually do anything because they're crowding each other out. That's what's happening in her brain right now, I guess. So she's invincible. She's perfect. This is the greatest thing to ever happen to her.
It is pretty cool. Like just like, oh, hey, do you know? Oh my god! Just like completely losing it, but
Poor
not
Big
like
Mom.
losing it. I just like that. It's cool because it's not like there's not really much they could do to her face to make her like, oh my god, it's Gear 3 anger. It's just like extra red and
Oh, that is
and
not
more,
true. If Oda wanted to make her look mad,
I
he
know,
could certainly do it.
I know he could, but like, usually you would think that would be what they do, and it's just like sometimes a super angry face doesn't come across as like actually terrifying. But I don't know. Oda's good, so what am I saying? What am I
just saying,
doubting him for?
This is totally fine, but I'm just saying we have not seen Big Mom like actually do anything serious yet. Like there's like at the very first page, she's like, I've got Prometheus doing something. I just really, before we get away from this part, I want to see Big Mom do something big. And all I'm saying is that it didn't happen yet, and I'm looking forward to it. That's all.
Pretty certain if Big Mom doesn't die, if that's not what happens, that she is going to be the thing that explodes and makes everybody run away. Like, she is going to be the reason everybody has to get the fuck out of there and escape.
They do seem to be implying that, and yeah, like that gives me hope. I think we will probably see something like that. It's just that like we're seeing her do like some small things, and the way that they're like not being emphasized makes me it gives it that feel of like it doesn't really matter, but like she is so important, and there needs to be a lot of weight on every action that she takes if I'm, as a reader, going to be intimidated by her. Like if we saw Kaido just, like, arm wrestling or, like, doing... Like, Kaido hasn't done anything yet on screen, and it makes him really intimidating, because we know when he does do something, or Shanks for that matter, it's going to be big. So, I'm just saying, the more things she does that don't matter, the less serious of a threat she seems. So, I'm just saying, get to it, Oda. Get to it as quick as you can.
Get to the thing. I am thinking of, like, villains like Crocodile. Like, the whole thing of Alabasta is, like, you see the destruction that he's wrought. You see the desert storms that have come and destroyed things, and you get a sense of, you know, what he can do. Big Mom has been... We know she's real powerful, and we go to her base, and you know, these guys are pretty tough.
Like, everyone
but
says
she
she's
herself,
really strong,
like, hasn't done, like, a big, like this is, like, a full power level sort of thing.
Right. Like even Kaido right
extents.
now.
Yeah.
Kaido has survived a fall from a sky island face first into the ground and was 100% fine, and like immediately defeated like the Kid Alliance because we saw like, you know, Kid captured. So we like know that Kaido is intimidating, but just Big Mom hasn't done anything yet. So I need to see her do something so I can be terrified of her. Let's do it, team.
So people are starting to react to Big Mom. Big Mom's about to go nuts, and they're like, "Oh shit, brace yourselves!" And then Pudding is getting her pistol out. She's finally not crying, I guess. She's still sort of crying, but
she's still crying a little bit.
She's starting to try and shoot
woman,
Sanji.
you know. Got him. Anyway, Pudding is actually literally trying to murder Sanji now. She is shooting bullets at him, at his face,
and he's dodging it like
so.
I'm too cool for that.
Yeah.
And
he's a good dodge boy.
There's this one line she says, "I've deceived countless people like this," and then Sanji's
like,
"I've deceived countless people like this," and Sanji's like, "And were you yourself one of them? Did you deceive yourself? Were you lying to yourself, bitch?"
Was she a good girl all along? Was she a good girl deep down inside?
Yeah, and she's hesitating, the gun shaking, like, "Shut up, Babaka," like all that sort of stuff. I'm not gonna. I am gonna kill you.
Okay,
I am a murderer.
Let me just say that. So Oda is like obviously in. So Pudding is now like a good guy inside, who's just been like, we're supposed to be sympathetic towards her and like feel bad for her. But like we've actually seen very little of like the suffering she suffered as a child. Like we're supposed to excuse. Like I can already tell Oda is trying to get us to forgive Pudding. Like it's like her evil days are over. She's now like redeemed character. That's what's happening here. And like, all we know is that when she was a kid, she was like in general bullied for having a third eye, and that, Big Mom called her creepy. I'm sorry, but that doesn't excuse like plotting murder. That's just not good enough.
Well,
I know
when you say plotting murder, did she come up with the plan to get Sanji killed, or was she just going along with it?
Think about that in the real world. Would you actually care if someone like came up with the idea to murder someone, or was just a very willing participant? Does that really matter? I don't think so. It's just as bad.
Well, I mean, she's been in a pirate crew her whole life. Killing people is
no,
probably...
no, you're not hearing me. Okay, morality is not subject to if you are or are not a pirate. It does not change. Like, murder is always bad. It is not good to murder people.
Yeah, but I don't think she's any worse than any of the other characters that we like and are good people who have killed others.
But Oda is trying to redeem her.
I know what you're saying. That is not enough redemption.
Sanji has never attempted to murder anyone. That's why I don't have a problem with him. I don't know.
Zoro's killed people. Do you have a problem with it? Actually, you probably do.
Of course I do. Murder is wrong. Murder is wrong. Don't do it.
You're a good boy. You're not fit to be a pirate. I should be the captain of this ship.
No, I am. I
kill everyone. I have a blade.
Wait, I'm swallowing some black pills. I'm eating black pills. Okay, I love murder.
Is that armament hacky pills?
Oh my God! Yes, exactly.
Yes. But anyway, I see what you're saying with the whole like putting suddenly redeemed. It is a little sudden, and I guess she hadn't had too much of a big backstory. But I feel like as long as she isn't like admitting it, like as long as after this she's rescued and then she's suddenly, you know what, Sanji, you're all right. I'm a good girl now. Like if she's like that, then it will be bad. But if she's still trying to kill him the whole time, it would. I mean, that'd be kind of funny. I wouldn't mind it if she was just like on the ship and she just wants to kill Sanji at all times. It would be like the Pink Panther movie.
As a joke, as a bit.
Yeah, as a joke, like you know the Pink Panther movie where that Chinese guy hides in what's his name, the detective.
Gustave Pierrot or something like that.
Yeah, Clouseau.
French boy, Clouseau, yeah. Inspector Clouseau, or whatever.
Yeah, he hires that guy to attack him at home to keep him on his toes.
Oh, that's right.
And he smashes things, and it's like he's a friend, but he's trying to kill him all the time. And I think if putting in Sanji's relationship is that she's just on the ship and she only wants to kill Sanji, and Sanji will never attack her, and that's their relationship. They're husband and wife, happy forever.
Okay,
just
I have to point out
combat.
It's a very different dynamic to, like, if I hire someone to attempt to murder me because I want them to.
I only brought it up because I thought it was a funny parallel. Like that
you're 100% right about that. It is hilarious. So fair enough.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm reserving judgment on her redemption, as it were. Until
you reserve judgment too much. This is
I
shit.
reserve
0
judgment
out of 10.
because it's a
Garbage.
good idea. I'd rather feel bad when it's confirmed bad and not speculate and feel bad right now.
Okay, but consider all the time that you waste not being mad, that you could be mad if you chose to assume things ahead of time like me.
I prefer being happy about stuff. What are you, crazy?
I don't understand.
What are you, crazy boy?
I'm a crazy boy. Okay, well, anyway, so we've got difference of opinion on the pudding situation.
Yes.
But by the way, I just did want to say again that I went back and looked at this big old panel that seems relevant to this whole pudding thing, and it's during Water 7. Remember when Rodman just disappeared, and Sanji went to go look for her, and it was a big thing about, like, oh, people are disappearing, where's everybody going? And the last thing that Sanji says to Chopper as he's walking off is, "A man forgives a woman's lies." That's like that was a big, cool moment. And Chopper was like, "Oh, so sugoi, so kakoi," and yeah, all I'm saying is this is very much in Sanji's character, even though he's literally retarded for doing so. So yes. I certainly can't complain about Sanji's actions because they're totally consistent.
Yeah.
So on that front, good job, Oda. Totally
cool there. So now we're getting introduced to a few more sons of the Charlotte family who have interesting designs, but I kind of don't care because there's
so many now to keep track of. It's tough.
And this guy's like the minister of beans, like the bean paste, like dumpling, like whatever you call it, mochi.
Oh, yeah. I had mochi the other day. Did you see my tweets about delicious mochi I had at Whole Foods?
Nobody follows your Twitter, you idiot.
Everybody go to @bestestguyever.
Twitter.com @bestguyever. Nobody goes there.
It's bestest guy ever.
Oh, bestest guy ever. How could I have forgotten?
That's very racist of you. Just like this character is very racist. He's a big,
He's a weird, like, he's got
Saudi
like a
Arabian?
weird. No, it's the guy behind him. The guy behind him the smoke
I
is
know
billowing
that.
out of his belt, and that is like his devil fruit power, which is a guy on a cloud. I assume. I don't think it's an actual other guy. I think it's his
Well,
weird power, but I'm not
okay,
sure.
so clearly they're doing like a genie in a lamp thing because this guy ate like the lamp fruit, and if you look, his right arm, he is rubbing himself in this very shot, and this
Yeah.
like smoke genie guy is coming out of him. It's at first I couldn't tell like who was the character and what was going on here, but now I get it, and it's okay. It amuses me a little bit. I don't know. This is weird. This is like a weird power that confuses me.
It's a
but I
weird
guess
power,
it's cool.
and it's a very complicated situation to introduce it and have it become a real attack immediately.
That's
Like, I don't
true.
know.
That's true.
So it's sort of whatever. I don't give a shit about that, really.
Anyway, more importantly, the guy slaps the shit out of Pudding, which I'm totally in favor of.
Oh, does he actually
as-
slap her, or does Sanji block it?
Well, okay, you know what? Actually, I was actually trying to figure that out because, like, in the bottom panel there, like, Pudding says, like, no, hey, don't interrupt. Like, I'll take care of Sanji, and like, he seems to interrupt her, but like, she's like in the panel, you can see she's fairly far away, but it looks like she got slapped. Like, what exactly happened there? Do you have any idea? Because I think
what
he
I
slapped her.
assume, what I assume is that he's about to attack her. Like his arm
No,
is
look
coming
at-
down. Like
Look at that little top left like star-shaped white thing. That's
Well, I
like
think-
an impact
I don't-
mark. You know? I think he might have sent her flying, and like that's why she's far away in
Oh,
that
she
panel.
does say Kia. She does say Kia with
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's a weird perspective thing. It's very. I think it's her Kia bubble. It makes it look like she's just far away instead of being flung that way.
Yeah, but you can see like the action lines around her that maybe indicate that she's like moving away from the panel. But then like in the next panel, there's also action lines which just indicate that Sanji's like, action boy, intense. Yeah, okay, this panel's pretty confusing. This page was a little tough to digest.
Yeah. So we switch over to the mirror world quickly, and what's Caesar Clown doing it? He's just flying
He's carrying
around.
Brûlée. He's carrying Brûlée.
Where is he going? Like, why does he need to go to a different mirror? I'm not sure. I don't understand.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the logistics in there are, but we do know that like he is going to be using a different mirror to like save everyone from
Oh,
the
that's
tea
right.
party.
He's gonna bring the mirror they had earlier and fly it
Right.
over the place, and somehow
Yes.
they're gonna jump in, and the mirror isn't gonna get broken, which is the plan. I don't think so. I think somebody's gonna break that mirror, and it's gonna be like, oh, some of us can't get through, and then they die or
Yeah.
something.
As soon as Caesar gets his heart, he will like bail on anyone. So if he can just like get that, he'll be out of there. So maybe something like that'll happen. We'll see. I think you're right though. Like we were saying, things are already not going according to plan, and it's very typical One Piece for them to go like all the way not according to plan. Just like because like it's kind of boring. From a like an author perspective to like have your characters like, okay, we're gonna create this epic plan that's gonna work perfectly, and if that just happens, the audience is gonna be very disappointed. It's just like not
Yeah.
interesting for that to
Yeah,
happen.
it reminds me of something
Yeah.
something I can't quite recall. It's sort of to do with Vriska.
I'm
And
not-
maybe make it a plan and then just doing it, and then it's an anime at the end.
Oh. no.
With a just
Oh, Undertale! Why? Why did you do it, Undertale? Oh, what a shame. So then, Luffy here is being like pinned down by Capone, because Capone is like he's still playing the double agent thing. They have not figured out that he's in cahoots with Luffy and the gang. So that's going on.
yeah.
And yes, I mean that's really all there is to say about that. And they're stalling for time while they're waiting for like Big Mom to like feel the effects of getting fucked.
Still not quite exactly clear about what
Yeah.
when she's because she looks pretty docile at the moment. She's just staring into space, going "Algla."
Yeah, like very not intimidating. And like I don't know, like there was a weird like lack of focus on Big Mom in this chapter that just made it hard for me to tell like where the focus was supposed to be, like what I was supposed to be thinking about. Because like I believe it's only been like a couple seconds since like the picture was destroyed. This is one of those things where like a million things are happening all at once, but like
Yeah.
time is like the passage of time in the canon like One Piece universe is like much slower than we are perceiving it as the reader. It's kind of it's hard to digest things like this.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about like all these. I think there's just two, but there's new characters being introduced, having a whole page of
Yeah,
them
it's pretty
showing their
bloated.
attack. It's bloating the chapter, but I assume they have to be fighting somebody, and I guess if
Right,
it's
right.
not somebody we already know, it may as well be the ones that we know that are there, but we haven't heard about them yet. I guess it's
I
just
don't
a
blame
bit. It's just
Oda.
a bit. It's just a bit
Yeah.
much to take in all at once.
Yeah, that's what it is, really. But I like it's kind of unfortunately that there's no way to avoid it. Like this is a giant scene of like tons of power players, and you know what can you do but like introduce new ones because there's tons of new people all around all the time, and it wouldn't be interesting to just have like introduced everybody before and then they all fight now. So
Yeah.
you know, it takes a panel space.
I guess
but
it's
fine.
good for like the dramatic theming, the chaotic chapter, chaotic thought bubbles all over the place. You got to
True.
There's new people. You got to figure out how to fight constantly, and it's all
yeah.
over the.
Like, it's cool that Pedro, like, goes up against somebody with his sword, and it's like, ow, my sword hurts. Why? And it's, oh, because you have a power. And then, oh, we all get to learn about your crazy power, Mr. Weird Hair Man. That's cool.
Yeah, but more cool than that is Brooks' fucking head falls off his. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Yeah,
Whether somebody.
nothing even happened to him, but it
I-
just fell off. I don't know why.
Oh wait, I think I know what it was. It was like a feigned death, like he pretended to get decapitated, but he's still alive. So he rolled over to Luffy so that he could say something, or maybe just appear
No,
dead.
but he doesn't say anything. Like, he doesn't do anything after his head. He's just like thinks to himself that he's still alive. Nothing happened after.
No.
Okay,
Well, the thought bubble is probably usually he uses
it might be a
thought
whisper.
bubbles.
That could
yeah,
be a whisper. Yeah.
So
okay.
so he's keeping a low profile. I don't know why. It is like I said, confusing chapter. I don't know whether somebody attacked him and he pretended to die, or he just did that so he didn't have to fight. But that doesn't seem like something Brook would do.
If you look at there's a little like line where his head would have been on his neck. It kind of looks like that's like a slash mark, like maybe somebody like slashed his neck. I don't know, man. This is hard. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's hard. This is hard. I'm gonna assume that somebody chopped his head off, but he's okay, and
Oh,
we'll
also,
deal with that later.
Chopper says it's already been 3 seconds, which I always
Right,
find it
right.
like that's the time. But I always find it funny when the characters are able to say it's been 1 second. You know, it's only been a couple of moments, and they they're having a conversation that presumably takes more seconds, but that apparently
Like,
not. Apparently this is all happening within an instant.
He is the third one to speak in that panel. Or no, okay, he's the second one to speak in that panel. And that first sentence Nami said would have already taken 3 seconds to say before Chopper even started saying anything. Yeah, this doesn't make any fucking sense. This is just like, this is manga rules. This is
Yeah,
its own
I
little
just
time
like
void.
it when sometimes it comes to an extreme where characters are having a conversation in between like sword swings or something.
Yeah.
Pretty
When
funny
it's good, it's good.
stuff. So yeah, Brook head rolls over to Luffy, and then Luffy's laughing like, that's funny, that's good, that's cool.
Yep.
And then we get the big moment. We get the big daddy moment where all the Vinsmokes are gooped up and they're about to fucking die. Where everyone's got a gun to their head, and Judge is freaking out. Like, what? I thought you were an honorable bitch. What happened? And he's yeah. So
Here it is, folks.
I'm sure you have something to say about this because it's obviously very
Anticlimactic to the. I mean, it's just exactly what we've been led to believe. The Vinsmokes don't know anything all along, and yep, here it is. They continue to not know anything. Like, even as like a giant fight breaks out, like these superhuman warriors. Like, this just doesn't make sense to me. They continue to sit there and do nothing as, like, these guys presumably, like, walked up behind them and pointed guns at their head and just sat there like a bunch of fucking sheep and didn't do anything, including Judge, like, one of the smartest people in the fucking series. Like, what? This is so rote, so, by the numbers, not interesting. It's like, it makes sense, okay? It's fine. It's just not interesting, and so I'm bored by it, and I don't like being bored.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking that you would have like a problem with it. Like he should have been, he should have been seeing something coming. He should have been able to, because he is a genius. He's a genius scientist, and
Yeah.
he starts crying. It seems a bit out of character for him based on what we've seen.
Well, okay, so they're
But yeah, it's
we're
not totally out
learning
of
things
character.
here.
It's just that
Yeah.
I think the reason he's crying here is not because he would be crying, more so that it's supposed to show how emotionless his children are, and how
Right.
much he's fucked them up.
The character of Judge is very confused to me. I do not think he's been handled well. So he's both a super genius, but he expected the Big Mom pirates to like just be completely honest in like at like a wedding full of like underground backhand dealers. He himself is like the leader of like a private military, and he's trying to fucking like conquer the entire North Blue, and like he never once suspected that there might be any treachery going on. Like I know it's easy to say from our perspective, like we knew all along that there was treachery, so like it's easy for us to say that he should have expected something. But like the way that he was built up as like this incredible genius and like this great military leader with these, massive ambitions, and he just got so fucking played like a dumb piece of shit. It's like now we're learning that what he is like a man just like hopelessly fixated on the dream of retaking the North Blue to the point where it appears to blind him to like many aspects of his life, including
Yeah.
like, this deal he's trying to make with pirates. He's like, why weren't pirates like totally legit businessmen? Yeah, I wonder why, you dumb piece of shit. And now like all of a sudden, presumably for the first time, like when he see like, okay, so first of all, the layer on top here is his plans have been foiled and he's about to die, and he seems like he wouldn't really mind dying as long as like his ambitions were fulfilled. But like him dying is going to ruin the Gamma 66 chances of like ever conquering the North Blue again. So obviously that's not good. And like at the same time, so obviously he's very emotional about that. And then also at the same time, like he's seeing his children react with like no emotion whatsoever. Like the three boys are they actually have no emotion. Like they do not care about that. They do not care that they're about to die and that like everything they've done in their lives was been meaningless up to this point. They just do not care. And so like now he chooses the time to like be emotional about that and like regret that decision to make them that way. And like I get it, this is obviously like the worst moment of his life probably. Everything he's worked for is gonna go down the shitter. But it just he's just so bad.
It's really just the fact that he could not have seen it coming. Like they're pirates, obviously. That's one thing. Another thing is that what the hell does Big Mom have to gain? Like he's trading up in this situation completely.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true.
Like he's getting like so much stuff from Big Mom. Like why? I mean, his cloning stuff is pretty cool, and I assume it's like it's been a bargaining chip before, maybe for stuff. I don't know. It's hard to
super
it's hard to
technology in
tell.
general.
It's hard to tell how confident he would have been based on past experiences, because all we've seen is that he goes and conquers places, but we've never seen him successfully do any business with anyone, so we don't know whether this is like even something he's ever done before.
All we've seen him do is beat up Sanji when Sanji was at a massive handicap and I don't know, and fail a business deal to the point where his entire family is about to be slaughtered. Like, I'm not impressed by this guy. On the one hand, they set him up as like the super genius scientist who is literally like one of the most brilliant men in the world, like able to fucking invent cloning technology. And on the other hand, like and not to mention like a dictator and a nation leader and like royalty and all that shit.
You know what?
And then he's just a fuck up. He's just such a fuck up.
Maybe he's got learning difficulties. Maybe he's autistic. Maybe he's got something like he didn't realize that his wife had died, and he was like, "Oh, what?" And he was doing all this stuff. He's just a complete retard, and he just so happens to be good with maths. That's why
That makes me sad.
He's a literal idiot.
No, he does kind of have signs to me. Like I think that he's been totally blinded. Okay, like now that I'm aware of the information presented in this chapter, that he actually had no idea what the fuck was going on. like I'm forced to rethink him, and I think that he is a guy just like totally blinded by ambition to the point where, I mean, maybe I should have seen the signs, because like he was willing to like kill his own son because he just, like didn't consider him useful. Like that's not. First of all, that's just kind of a waste of a son that, like, it doesn't cost that much to let your son live, and he could probably be useful to you in some way. He's a perfectly fine young man. He's not like a super soldier, but...
Yeah, but you think about that, and...
Pride, the pride in having a son who wasn't, like, his perfectly crafted super soldier that bothered him, and, like, not being the king of the North Blue the way he felt it was his birthright to be, that bothered him, and now being betrayed by these lowly pirates who who should never got the upper hand over him, I'm sure that bothers him too. So
yeah,
he's a total
I mean
up.
it's just that you think of a person who's like a nasty evil person who would beat his children and fuck them up because to his own ends, a scientist, all this sort of stuff. You would think that as an evil person he would have evil schemes. But he seems more like of a brute. Like you're just like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He does. He got totally played. By the way, my favorite thing about this whole page is Big Bird going, "This is big news!" just over on the side. He's my favorite character. Please join the Straw Hats.
I love the fact that he's just like, he's probably got a notepad up.
He is
jotting
thrilled
stuff
by
down.
this. He's thinking of those fucking newspaper sales tomorrow when he writes about this shit.
He's thinking of those clicks. Those
Yeah, man. He is the Gawker of One Piece, and it's he's gonna get those clicks. Okay,
also,
well, let's...
I want to say, all the guys holding the guns, there's a few designs there. Pretty cool. Like the guy with the big hair and the lady next to him with the hat and the thing round her.
Yeah.
The bullets, and then the big guy who looks like he's got a thing on him.
Like a gladiator hat Roman guy thing.
Yeah, and big pointy ears. Like, those are good designs. I like them.
Yeah, I like all these. I like all those designs are really cool. And I'd like to see him do more. And by the way, I think that's the ponytail girl standing, pointing her gun at Judge, who I think is really cute and want to touch the butt of. I think that's her.
Yeah.
I hope we see more of her.
They're sort of just sitting there crying while Judge is crying. The rest of them are just like, "Hey, whoops, we died." And then
it's the fact that he's crying that is like, it's like, what? Take it like a dude. Take it like a man.
Because one thing, like I said, it was probably to show how emotionless his children are, but also I think it's to give us a reason for them to be saved if they get saved.
Yeah. Now they're like, because they're such fucking idiots, despite the fact that they're like an evil genocidal organization, because their leader cried, it's time to start to feel bad for him. Yeah, okay, I'm sure. But I do like that Mr. Licky Tongue Boy comes over and just starts giving him shit while he cries like a bitch. That's my favorite. He looks so evil. His design is so retarded, but he's actually intimidating in this scene, and I like that. He's cool. As he fucking licks his giant fucking lollipop. He's like licking his fucking lollipop, saying like, "I'm gonna kill you and all your kids." That's fucking sick, bro. You just have to deal with that shit, you pussy.
Yeah, you know what?
That guy's cool.
Sometimes there's like the creepy villain with the long tongue, but they never lick anything. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they have such a long tongue if they don't have a big lollipop?
Oda put the final missing piece to that puzzle in place, and now we have this character. This guy for the Straw Hats. I don't know his name, but
yes, and he's the one who confirms that Mama's rage barometer maxed out, apparently. So there's too much rage for her to actually something or other. There's too much rage for her to go into overdrive.
I guess. It doesn't even make fucking sense, but okay, like the way you described it made more sense. Like she's confused. She's just like, "What's happening?" That's fine. That makes sense.
All right, so the Luffy and now Brook is saying to Luffy, "We got to show the photo again. She's not actually enough. We gotta really rub it in. Look at this bitch. We killed her. And that's gonna do it. And then Capone sees that Dogtooth has gone white as a sheet, and he's seen a completely horrific future. I don't know how you can tell that from that guy's expression, because it's basically is the same expression the whole time. But
that's like Capone like saying what the author wants us to think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why the fuck he would believe that. Like, how well do you know Dogtooth, motherfucker? I don't know. I guess really well. I have no idea.
And then he shouts out, Capone shouts out, Allied forces equip invisible Sinfonia, which is very strange, a thing to have to do. You would think they would have, like little, some sort of a different signal.
Mushis or something.
Yeah, Denden Mushis, or like, a specific signal that everyone will notice instead of, outing himself as someone who may be up to some shady business.
Yeah.
But,
pretty retarded, bro.
Nobody decides to beat the shit out of him because they don't know exactly what he's doing yet, so I guess it works.
Incidentally, by the way, like, he shouts that out based on, like, the assumption, like, so the earbuds are to protect, or the earplugs are to protect from the shout that Big Mom is going to do so that they won't be disabled and so they can, like, kill her in that window. But, like we have seen that Big Mom is, like, confused right now. Like, how does he know that in 3 seconds, like, it'll be time to, like, after she sees the picture again, it'll actually, like, take this time? I'm just, and like you said, he's outing himself, so he's betting it all that this works when they, like, show her the picture again. It's just, like, you're reaching, dude. You're reaching.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate sort of, the author already knows exactly what's going to happen, so characters act based on how to get them there instead of what they would actually be doing in such a chaotic situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe he's a risk taker, maybe he's that sort of guy. It seems a bit weird, but he's confident, but if he gets punched in the face, it will be even funnier.
That's true. We'll see. We'll see.
Yes, and I think that's the last page. So yeah, pretty chaotic chapter. A lot of fighting, a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to feel about it. Oh, you want to say something?
There was one last thing I wanted to say about it, and it's just that. So Capone ends with, like, Dogtooth, the strong jelly bean boy or the mochi boy is walking over to him to fuck him up because Capone has outed himself as a traitor, and So, like, I don't know how poetic this is and how literal this is, but, like, we know Dogtooth can see the future, right? We know that. That's a fact. And Capone says, like, hey, Dogtooth, seeing the future is cool and all, but that doesn't matter because everyone has the power to change the future. And, like, okay, if he means that literally, then what the fuck does Dogtooth's power even do? Does it, like, predict a possible future? Like, okay, now we're getting into, like, what... See, this is why I said, don't mess with fucking time travel shit like this. Don't mess with future prediction, because it doesn't make any fucking sense if he means this literally. Like, maybe he just means it poetically. Like, you're not gonna beat us, because, like, I don't care, that you think you're gonna win. Like, we're gonna beat you.
Yeah,
like, maybe he just means it, like, artistically, as, like, metaphorically, but, like, that's confusing, because he's talking to a guy who literally can see the future. So, like, if you could just change it, it's not the future.
It's still a bit... I mean, what has Dogtooth predicted so far? He's predicted that Sanji...
Pudding falling down was one.
Yeah, he predicted Pudding falling down, and then he shot his bean, and then he didn't predict Sanji would dodge it. So, it's obviously limited, but I don't think what he means is that we can change the future, but he's just saying, you can't see every possibility, you dumb fuck. You're not that strong.
But you gotta admit, it's like misleading that he's saying this to a guy who can see the future, and he's just like, I don't know. Like, at first I read that literally, and I'm like, wait, that can't be right. That wouldn't make any fucking sense at all. Okay, whatever. I don't. Yeah, this chapter was...
Think about, like, I don't know, he can see the future, but if you have a strong will and you really believe in yourself, you can change the future, and then he won't see it coming. That's the gay interpretation.
But that's like two different uses of the word future there. There's like it's like the thing that he saw, and then like the future that like will happen.
I think it's probably to do with the translation of future. There might be like a prediction, something or other. Like, it might not actually be... Seeing into the future is an easy way to phrase it, but it may be more subtle than that in Japanese. Subtle difference that makes it okay. I'm not sure.
Okay, but I think you understand. Just it was confusing is all, and hopefully that's not an actual literal thing.
A very confusing chapter with
messy.
I don't know how to feel about it. 0 out of 10, 10 out of 10. One Piece is great.
Yeah, I'd feel about the same. I don't know. It was I don't even know like if there was ways out of this. It's just like the thing that disappoint me are things like I came up with this like retardedly convoluted story for like Pudding being like a triple agent and actually like was gonna help. Like, no, none of that happened. And then I don't know. And then Judge like being exactly as basic a bitch as he was like as we were just being told to our face that he was. And I was like, there's no way he's that basic of a bitch. But yes, he was in fact that basic of a bitch.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah. We can. I mean, I'm trying to think of what would happen. Like, what even could happen with the Vinsmokes now? They don't seem...
There is going to be a Sanji fight versus his brothers. It's going to happen. There is no way this arc ends.
Know?
I am Dogtooth. I see the future. I know it's going to happen. There is no way that this narrative arc ends without Sanji.
Oda has the power to change that future, Sanji. Nate,
well,
sorry.
that may be true. That may be true, but I do not think that Oda is so incompetent a storyteller that he will ignore the obvious end to this like arc of Sanji's character, where Sanji like it's been built up that Sanji has been nothing but victimized by his family. Now is the time for him to fight his brothers and win against them to prove that, like, his philosophy is superior. That is what happened. They're not, they're not going to die. It doesn't, you really think this is going to happen?
In the situation they're in, how do they have time to battle Sanji?
I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know how, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I think what's going to happen is that they're going to get saved by the Straw Hats, and they're going to go into the Mirror World, and Sanji's going to be there, and they're going to be like, thanks, I guess, and then maybe he's going to fight them, or maybe he's going to say, I'm cooler than you, I'm not a bully, I'm not going to kick you, family, and then it's going to be really gay, or something else happens and they get separated. Like, the Mirror World plan goes wrong, and half the people get separated, half them don't. But they split up in some way, and then they come back together, and then there's a battle with Sanji and his brothers in some way. Because like the Germa Kingdom is still there. It still might be relevant a location. Stuff could happen with that army. We don't know when this arc is going to end. It may not actually end here. But I don't really know. And there's nothing to go on. This is just hopeful, wishful thinking that it's going to work out.
How can you go like from like a Big Mom, like this scene that's like been built up for like 2 years now of like actual time to like then there's an arc on Jerema. I mean, it could just be a couple chapters of like doing stuff there.
But yeah, they just like before they sail away from this whole place.
Okay, well, I mean, if that happens, then that's my prediction too. Then I'm still right. So it doesn't change the fact that I'm saying that there's going to be a fight between these brothers. But by the way, I just want to say for the record, if they try to redeem Sanji's brothers in some way, that is unacceptable. You cannot redeem these people because we have been told and instructed in painstaking detail here that these are literally emotionless, amoral creatures that just do, I guess, what they've been trained to do, which is kill people and don't even care if they're going to die and certainly don't care about the lives of other people. So, like, if Oda tries to do any shit later where like they awaken emotions inside themselves or any of that bullshit, unacceptable. That's not okay. These are immoral,
Sanji.
evil guys.
I keep calling you Sanji for some reason. You said that just now, and in my mind, in my brain mind, I realized that is very real, a possibility that they will just awaken. They will awaken their latent homosexuality and feel for the first time in their lives. They'll be like, "Oh my God, Sanji, I'm so sorry."
I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you if that happens. This is how it's going to happen. Sanji's going to show kindness to them, and there will be the story will tell us oh my God, they had never experienced kindness before. They didn't even know it was a thing you could do, and then they'll wake up and be like, oh, maybe we can grow some emotions. No, unacceptable. You cannot do that. That is not real. That is made up bullshit. That doesn't make any sense. These are genetically engineered evil supermen with no emotions or moral capacity. You cannot just awaken fucking emotions and a moral compass in them. They don't have one. They're sociopaths. You can't change that biologically. So just if that happens, just everybody say this is bullshit. This is retarded.
Though? What about Reiju? She's slightly
No, Reiju's objectively fine. She has been fine since birth. That's perfectly consistent. We know that she's an okay person, you know.
Well, she hasn't been tested on like they have.
Well, I mean, we have seen her do things that are not evil because she understands right from wrong. They do not. They don't even care if they live or die.
Yeah,
they have
but
no
all right,
compass.
All right, here's devil's advocate for that
Okay.
thought process is that they may be psychopathic, yeah, and she may be less so, but on a base level, brothers fight more than sisters fight brothers. I mean, generally brothers will like bully each other. I'm saying like from a base level, they may just dislike Sanji just because fuck that guy is a little fag, and even if they weren't psychopaths, emotionless killing machines, they may have still bullied him.
Well, their entire relationship was their
so
entire.
If Reiju has emotions, there's potential for them to there's potential for them to suddenly have emotions out of nowhere. That's
not how that
devil
works.
advocate. I don't actually want that to happen, but that's how it could happen.
It's One Piece and it's a magical world where anything could happen. I'm just saying like why I don't find that compelling because that has no basis in reality, and that would just be like a magic fairy floats down and just gives them emotions. It would be equivalently like pertinent to the story. Like that would be equal good storytelling, aka terrible bullshit. If like they just wake up to emotions all of a sudden, they've had their whole lives to like look into emotion and that shit. Like it's just not in them, and we have been taught that clearly. So if just all I'm saying is I'm going to complain if it happens. That's what I'm going to do. So be forewarned.
What I hope is that if that is the plan, because it probably is. I mean, the Vinsmokes are here for a reason.
Yeah.
They're not just going to be either dead or escape and leave the story. If that does happen, I hope they have like a moment where they're like captured or something where they're not dead yet or captured or free.
Dude,
and they have a moment to feel a bit of emotion, like a little twinge
here's how it
or
happens,
something.
dude. I know
And then it
exactly
comes
how it's
later.
going to happen. They are going to fight Sanji. Sanji is going to beat them, and then at the end, they're going to say like, "Okay, we were your tormentors your whole life. Go ahead and kill us." And Sanji's going to say, "Nope, I'm going to have mercy on you." I don't know. Maybe he'll say like, "'Cause you're my brothers," and it'll be this big emotional scene where they're like, "Oh my god, that doesn't make logical sense. Why would you do that?" And they're going to be, "Oh, it's because it's emotions, because he cares about us. Maybe we should care about people too." It's kind of, I don't like that one bit. No,
Well,
sir.
if that is how it happens, I think the best way would be for Sanji to leave them, and then for us to cut away, and then for them to come back into the story later, than having had emotions. Like they could do that off screen.
No, you're not getting me. They cannot ever have emotions. If they
I'm
haven't
saying-
by this point, they can't. They can't. It doesn't make sense. They don't have any emotions. That's just who they are biologically. They were created that way. You can't change that now.
Yeah, well,
That'd be like.
I said the devil's advocate thing. I think there's a way to make it the least painful. I
Oda
think there's
can
a
do
way
anything
for
he
it to be
wants.
the least. There's a way to make it like
you can
slightly
do it in
not
the story.
terrible. I know it's going to
That's
be bad.
still terrible.
I know it's going to be bad either way, but I hope it is the best way possible.
There is no good way to give them emotions. They're all equally retarded. But okay, I understand my point. Maybe it won't happen. It's going to fucking happen. I know it's going to happen, and I'm going to complain about it. So get ready for that, folks. But that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed that sack of shit. Hey, this is our first episode that we've recorded specifically for the new channel, the Podcast channel.
Oh yeah.
So hey, hooray! How nice. And we'll see you next week, folks. Assuming that they don't skip it on the sly like they did last time. Yeah, that's it. Bye bye.
All right. See ya.